I think this person knowingly poisoned somebody.
Once again, I have to disagree with you, Mel.
Well, let me hear it.
This would not be...
I got more fuel in the tank.
Yeah. Am I the Asshole is a popular subreddit on reddit.com where
reddit.com
users post their little anecdotes, and they have the internet as a whole decide, are they in the wrong? Is everybody an asshole? Is the other person in the wrong? Who's the asshole here?
Yeah. Court of public opinion.
I've got 3 Am I the Asshole submissions, and we will decide. Is OP the asshole?
We're learning a lot about ourselves tonight.
So for this first one, it's pretty short, so I'm just going to read it verbatim.
Okay.
My 20-year-old daughter and her fiance are currently staying with us. I love my daughter, but she is very difficult and I can't stand her fiance. I gave them a deadline to move out because I can't take this anymore. They got into a massive fight the other day while my wife was out. I guess a pair of my wife's underwear got in with their laundry and she thought he was cheating. I think the fact she immediately jumped to cheating shows how bad their relationship is. She was waving the underwear around, and I recognized them because they had a floral print. I just let this ridiculous fight go on. My wife came home about 30 minutes later and said they were hers. My wife asked if I didn't realize they were hers, and I accidentally laughed. My daughter burst into tears and won't talk to me. Her fiance said, "We're fucked," and left the house, but my wife thought it was funny. So, this guy obviously knew that the panties belonged to his wife, but he did not intervene. Is he the asshole?
I mean, it's kind of a dick move, right? Hey, my daughter, who presumably you care about, somebody that you want to see in the best position in life that they can be in. Your daughter is very clearly upset about the possibility of infidelity, and you are the only one at the current time that has the knowledge to be like, hey, calm down. It's okay. Things are okay, actually. This is all a big misunderstanding. And you not clarifying that at the peak of the moment when things are, when emotions are high. I mean, it's kind of a dick move, right? Like, I'm not going to say this person is definitively an asshole.
But you're going to have to, Mel. All right. There's no dick move option. There's either they're the asshole or they're not the asshole. That's all there is to it. And you say that this guy's the only one with that knowledge that there is no cheating. Well, the fiance also has that knowledge. And all he has to say is, hey, no, I wasn't cheating. This is all a misunderstanding.
Well, I mean, yeah, but even if he says that, she's like, well, whose underwear is this then? Right? All he can do is just deny because, he also doesn't know whose underwear it is.
He might logically come to the same conclusion that there must just be a mix-up with the laundry situation.
If things have to be black and white, like everything else in life is, then yeah, I'll go with that he is the asshole. I think he had an opportunity to clarify a situation and ease the tension in the air. And he chose not to because he was being petty, because he was upset that they were living with him.
I can't say I agree, I guess.
I'm on a 60-40 split right now. Like 6 out of 10 times, I feel like I'll be like, yeah, he was the asshole. But the other 40% is just like, it's not like it's like that big of a deal. But I don't know. It's just like you could argue, oh, their relationship's already on the rocks. This kind of like showed everyone's true colors. I wouldn't want that to be up to me. Oh, their relationship's obviously already bad, so I'm going to let it to continue to worsen. I don't feel like that should be my decision.
Well, I don't really think it's his place to intervene in that kind of thing.
He knew that was his wife's underwear. All he's got to be like, oh, hey, I couldn't help it over here. You guys are fighting because you won't leave my house. That's my wife's underwear. He's not cheating.
Sure. I mean, I think maybe he did the right thing to just be a passerby, an observer, and just let the fight play out. Because obviously, if they're going to jump right to cheating and not resolve this in any amicable, mature way, it's probably better that the fight play out in the way that it does. Now, is he the asshole because he laughed about it? Yeah, maybe. But I can see how this is beneficial to him at the expense of his daughter.
Well, that's the thing, is you're an asshole by prioritizing your petty motivations over the mental well-being of your daughter. Like, here's the thing. If my adult daughter is in a shitty relationship, then obviously I'm not going to approve of that in a way that I wouldn't intervene with anything. But, I'd be like, I don't like that you're in a bad relationship because I want the best for you. However, I don't think that it's up to me to sort of be the catalyst to maybe ending that relationship. Like if I don't think that I should be petty and, withhold information from her just because I'm like, oh, well, I already don't fuck with this. In my hypothetical daughter, I would probably want the best for her, and I wouldn't want to bring turmoil into her life, especially if it already exists.
Right. I'm going to say bottom line, not the asshole, because one, nobody asked him. I don't think in the story anybody turned to him and he just omitted information. Like, Dad, do you know anything about this? And he said, no, I don't know a fucking thing. That would be worse. And also, if their relationship can't survive a underwear scare and they jump right to cheating, I don't think it's going to work. And I think it's better that they break up anyway. In the long term, he may be doing her a favor.
I mean, what else would your mind go to? I think that finding underwear is probably like
shit.
And here's the thing:
if you really believe, I think it's like if you really believe in your partner and that they love you and you're going to marry them, then like that would be the last thing on your mind. And I'll say this: as a person who got cheated on, I was in like the most hardcore denial about it. Like that was the farthest thing. The signs were obvious, but I didn't even consider that this person could be cheating on me because I thought they loved me.
I don't know. Here's the thing. If you were living with another couple, being, your girlfriend's parents, and you don't at least consider, oh, maybe those are somebody else that lives here. Like, that's a little silly to not consider that. I will admit that pretty much everyone involved in this story, except for the mom, was not utilizing their brain to the fullest extent. I understand that in terms of excitement and fear, our thought process becomes a little irrational. We don't think as clearly. We don't react in a well thought out way. But come on, not for a single moment was she like, oh, maybe this is my mom's underwear.
Right.
Because my mom also lives. So I'm not denying that points to something greater, like as in their relationship maybe already being rocky. But I do think, bottom line, for me personally, I can't agree with him not being the asshole, because at the end of the day, I mean, like, he lied by omission. He could have prevented a fight, and he consciously made the decision not to prevent the fight when he knew the solution. So I do think it's dumb that they immediately went to yelling, but I can't agree. Carl.
That's fair. We got to split on this one. So I'm going to say not the asshole. Mel's going to say OP is the asshole. So we're divided on that one.
Yeah, I like that we've got division, though. I think that it really, I think it really goes to show how nuanced our show is, how we don't just, agree on the same thing every time.
That'd be a boring show
to be had. Yeah, it'd be a boring show if I went, I believe in this thing, and you went, I believe in it too, and I went, okay, well, thanks for watching.
You're so great, Mel.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. You're so great, dude. I wholeheartedly agree with everything that is right, and I don't like anything that other people don't like.
Right. So let's see where we stand on this second one. This one is much longer, so I will just kind of summarize it to the best of my ability. But basically, the tagline is, am I the asshole for serving a pregnant woman a non-alcoholic cocktail without her knowledge? And the story here is that the original poster is a waiter, and a group of women come in, and they order a round of cocktails. And he overhears one of them talking about how they are pregnant or expecting or whatever, some kind of indication that they're pregnant. And he says, well, one drink, like it's not going to kill the baby. But when they go to order a second round of drinks, then he decides, well, I don't think it's very responsible that this woman is drinking while being pregnant. So I'm just going to swap it out. I'm going to charge her for a virgin version of this drink. And she won't ever ask a question because it tastes pretty much the same. No harm done. The baby's safe.
Yeah.
All that. But eventually she does return and find out that she was not given what she ordered and management is not on his side. And so is he the asshole?
No. Hey, listen, just because a company says that what you did was wrong does not mean that what you did was wrong.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Just playing devil's advocate, I can understand that, just entirely being like, well, that's not what she paid for. She has autonomy. It's not up for other people to decide how she, treats her body, how she treats her pregnancy. Like, that's not her decision. I mean, that's not anybody else's but hers decision. And even if you think it's wrong, you shouldn't interfere, right?
Yes, I'm with you so far.
I could understand how that would be an argument. But also, I can see how he sort of like felt a sense of responsibility to maybe not fetal alcohol syndrome's no joke. Even though it's not really his decision what she does with her body, the thought process in my mind, in terms of intention and in terms of execution, I wouldn't call this person an asshole for what they did. You could argue on the morality of it in terms of like encroaching upon somebody's autonomy, but by no means would I say that, oh, this person's an asshole for those actions. I'm going to side with the waiter in the context if I don't think that he's an asshole.
Okay, well, I don't think he's an asshole either, but I'm going to say, yes, he's the asshole in this situation.
Another split.
Just because of what you said. Well, it's really not his business to inject himself into somebody's life like that. His job is to, well, provide people with whatever they order. And if this woman wants to harm her child and herself or whatever, she should be allowed to do that. And it's really not his place to step in and intervene in that way. And not to mention that there could just be like a misunderstanding. He could have misheard something or misinterpreted something. And now he's just giving this woman not what she ordered for no good reason. There's no definitive way to say, yep, she's definitely pregnant, no doubt about it, and I cannot serve her.
Operating under the assumption that it may have been misunderstanding, like, it makes the water a lot more murky, because in that case, I'd just be like, yeah, just don't fucking, if you don't know for sure, fuck it. But in a perfect world, which doesn't exist, but in a perfect world, I know that this woman is pregnant. I would also maybe feel inclined to put my moral code at risk, to maybe, and of course there's a chance, she'll go to another restaurant or she'll go home and she'll drink anyways. It's not like I'm really preventing anything in the long run. And you're right, like to a certain extent, like it's really not my business what she's doing with her body. But at the same time, I get the thought process. I get the thought process of, you know what? I don't feel comfortable serving somebody that is pregnant an alcoholic drink, because that could have serious side effects on the baby. And I want my conscience clear of that. Even if she goes home and drinks a 30 rack of Natty Light, I don't want it on my conscience that I even had a percentage of contribution to the harm that was done to this child that she is assumedly going to bring to term.
Mm-hmm.
So even if she goes home and drinks 30 rack Natty Light, I don't want any part of that. I don't want to be 0.1% of the series of events that led to that child having fetal alcohol syndrome or any other sort of developmental disability because of an irresponsible consumption of alcohol. So even if the company was like, you shouldn't have done that, I would have been like, you know what? I was being guided by my morals that day.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel comfortable doing that. I don't think that he's an asshole for that. I'm going to say not the asshole. I can empathize with the situation a lot more than the first one. I think the first situation we ran over was just kind of a situation of people being petty. If I knowingly served like somebody pregnant alcohol, that would make me uncomfortable. That wouldn't sit well on my conscience.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to say not the asshole.
Well,
even though I do agree to some extent, it's not your business.
We're going to be split on this one, because I'm going to say this guy's in the wrong. Therefore, he's the asshole.
Maybe we'll find common ground on the next one.
Let's hope so. So this one is, am I wrong for putting peanuts in my food and not putting an allergen label on it, knowing the food thief is allergic? So this person works in an office with a shared fridge. Somebody's stealing their food, and they realize that it must be this other guy, Omar, because he's also Muslim, and they are bringing halal food. So who else is going to steal their lunch but them, right? It's hard to find halal food on short notice.
Naturally.
Right. So, and this person also knows that Omar, the food thief, is allergic to peanuts. So they say, on Friday, I brought leftovers which included peanuts. I made sure to label the food with my name, but I didn't think to include any label about it having peanuts in it. No one else in the office uses allergen labels on their food, and it didn't even cross my mind. When I got to the fridge and realized my food was once again missing, I rushed to Omar's desk, where I of course found him eating my food, and I told him that the lunch had peanuts in it. His eyes got really wide and he went for his EpiPen, and thank goodness he injected himself before his symptoms got bad. HR has ruled in my favor, but now requires allergen labels on all foods. The entire office is mad at me, not just for the inconvenience, but because I targeted Omar and tried to kill him. Now I feel bad. Am I in the wrong here?
100%. 100% in the wrong. What I love about Am I the Asshole is it's very clear that people will often sort of obscure and slightly mold the facts of a situation in order to paint things in their light. Because a lot of the time, r/am I the asshole really just translates to r/validate my decision making.
Right. That's why anybody goes there.
Exactly. They want to know that they're in the right and everybody else is in the wrong. They're not crazy. But see, this person's like, oh, I didn't think to label that it had peanuts, but no, of course you like, I understand that it is frustrating to have your food stolen in a workplace setting. That's like probably one of the shittiest things that a coworker can do to you is take your food. That's fucked up for sure. But this person knowingly poisoned somebody. Like,
okay.
That's
a bit of a stretch. Like, but okay.
I think this person was like, Omar is 100% stealing my food. I'm going to teach him a little lesson. They're painting it as, oh, I just didn't think to label it as having peanuts. Nobody else does. No, you know this person is taking your food.
Why would you? It's your food.
You
know what's in it.
This person knew who was stealing their food and then knowingly put peanuts into their food, knowing that the person allergic to peanuts was going to, like, that could have killed him.
Right.
That results in death sometimes. I think the way they've painted the story, and this is just assumptions on my part, of course, but I think they've kind of tried to paint the story in a way, oh, I had no idea, I just didn't think about it. I think this person knowingly poisoned somebody.
I completely disagree. That kind of comparison is kind of like saying, they left a bottle of rat poison out on the table and they forgot to say that drinking rat poison can be harmful to humans.
There was a build up to this. I think he listen, Omar also an asshole. Stealing somebody's food is one of the most asshole things that you can do. I'm actually going to say, because I know this is actually a valid answer for the subreddit, because I've been on the subreddit a couple times. Everybody sucks here.
Okay. Once again, I have to disagree with you, Mel.
Well, let me hear it.
This would not be.
I got more fuel in the tank.
Yeah, this would not be a problem if Omar's just not going around stealing other people's food, and it's not your responsibility. Yes, it's not your responsibility to label things for allergens that you don't have. Like, why would you even bother saying that this food has peanuts in it when you know what's in it and you can eat peanuts just fine? This person should not be eating your food, and why, in God's name, are you stealing other people's food when you have a deadly allergy? That is like playing with fire right there. 100% in the wrong.
I agree that Omar sucks too.
Even if this person maliciously was like, well, I'm not even going to bother. Like, I consider that my lunch could be stolen, but I'm not going to put a label on it. Fine. You know what? Even that is fine. But we're just going to assume, according to the story, we're just following the story here. We can't make any implications here.
Okay.
According to the story, they didn't know. And why would they think that, right? Like,
I think this is negligence.
How often do you probably occasionally have food with peanuts in it, and it's totally normal to you because you eat it all the time. Why would you think to put a special label on it?
The thing is this person acknowledges that they know that Omar is the one consistently stealing their food. Omar is an asshole for stealing food. Shitty thing to do. Dick move. However, OP is also an asshole because in their mind, let's say somebody steals food, right? And they get caught for it. In a court of law, they are being tried for food theft. Do you believe that capital punishment is an appropriate response?
This isn't a punishment, though. This is just like an unintended side effect of eating other people's food.
The way this story is laid out, I cannot help but think this person knew Omar was going to, and they wanted to give Omar a little scare. I cannot help but view it any other way because of the way that they have framed it, not because of what I am making up.
Well, hear me out, Mel. Your argument would totally hold water if they put like actual poison or something, or like laxatives or something that's harmful.
Actual poison.
No, not to everybody though.
For Omar,
yeah, sure. But if they put something like I could not possibly eat rat poison that I put in my own food, and I waited for them to steal it. They ate the rat poison. They died. But because my food has peanuts in it, I have no allergy. I can eat it just fine. There's no wrongdoing here. As long as somebody else doesn't eat my food, we have no problem. I eat my food. It's, there's no malicious action to just not labeling your own food for an allergy that you don't have.
I think if Omar would have died, OP's got blood on his hands.
No way.
I really do. And also, by the way, everyone else also sucks for being like, now we have to label our food.
Well, no one should have to label their food for...
Nobody should be stealing food, right?
Uh-huh.
Nobody should be... Honestly, you shouldn't have to label your food. I agree with that. But, like, come on. Like, let's all dogpile this guy because I think everyone sucks here.
No.
I really just truly believe that this person was like, oh, I hope that Omar, the peanut allergic man, doesn't eat my peanut sandwich, that even though he's been consistently eating my food for the past... I think it was intentional.
I mean, they did go right to him and say, hey, stop eating my lunch because you can't have that.
Exactly. I think it's fucked up.
If they really wanted him to die, they just like, guess my lunch is gone.
I don't think that OP wanted Omar to die. That'd be crazy.
Right.
If they did. I don't think that OP wanted Omar to die, but I do think that OP wanted to give Omar a little scare.
Could be.
Maybe this is what happens when you steal your coworker's food. Stop stealing food, Omar.
Even if that's the case, I say not the asshole, and I'm surprised we could not find agreement on any of these. So I picked good ones.
I am too. I really honestly thought I had you with this one. Very quickly learned that was not the case. My final verdict is everybody sucks.
Well, man, I thought that you were like a man of reason, but clearly I don't know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, obviously I've learned nothing since knowing you. I thought that I had this image of Carl in my head, but it turns out that you are 100% okay with the intentional poisoning of coworkers.
That's me.
Subscribe for more videos and shorts from The Long Couch. Follow the link in the description below to stream full episodes on Spotify. And keep up with Carl and Mel on Instagram and Twitter.